Welcome to Master Geek Theater.
Ryan.
Hello, hello.
Superman.
I think it was one of the better Superman movies that I've seen. Out of all the DC movies, I think this is like one of the most coherent, best storytelling ones. Overall, this is actually really well put together movie.
Definitely hitting who Clark really is. He was also dropping seeds for the expanded DC universe. You had Guy Gardner, the Green Lantern. Nathan Fillion, in my opinion, was great. We had a Larry Moe and Curly Moe. You have Nathan Fillion with a Moe haircut. You had the head of Baravia, who totally had a Larry Fine cut. And then you have Curly Joe Lex Luthor, bald as anything.
Only Green Lantern I'm familiar with. I don't really know his name, but I think he is the more modern one. Skinnier, brown hair.
Hal Jordan is the Green Lantern most everybody knows.
Yeah.
So you liked that character then?
Yeah, he played the role amazingly. I think his whole too cool for school demeanor for everything was really funny. In the scene where they're fighting over in Duran Core, during that fight scene when he's pulling out those green hands, are doing the middle finger as they're popping out the thing.
Yeah, knocking over tanks with the middle finger.
Yeah.
It's like, that is very Guy.
Yeah.
One of the other major Guy moments for me was when Hot Girl says, "What about Metamorpho joining the team?" Because she's impressed at how well Metamorpho does. And Guy looks at him and is like, looking like that? And as soon as he mentions the name Justice Gang and Metamorpho likes it, all of a sudden, he's in. Hot Girl was great.
I thought she was funny.
It's like a female Wolverine.
Yeah, there you go. She's got the attitude to her.
Mr. Terrific.
Not to be confused with Mr. Fantastic.
One becomes a spear and one has spears. What did you think of Mr. Terrific?
I think he played a bigger role in this movie than a lot of the other characters. He might have been my favorite character throughout the movie. His demeanor about him, like the way he would deliver his lines, his willingness to help.
He wanted to help just to tick off the Green Lantern.
Yeah, his willingness to help, and then his motivations for doing it. I think those are what make a good character. For example, saving Superman from the Pocket Universe. He is using the T-Sphere. He's using them as like separate pieces of eyes, and they're like moving around like chameleon stuff.
Great fight scene with those when he was going to the portal. He protects Lois in a force field, and he just kicks everybody's butt with the T-Sphere.
Just moments like that, they show how capable they are. I think stuff like that is just amazing, especially in superhero movies and action movies.
When the kaiju is attacking, Clark, of course, being Superman, is worried about hurting the thing. He wants to find a way to get it to a space zoo or something. He tells Mr. Terrific about this, and Mr. Terrific just shakes his head. Later on, at the end, when he can't stop the dimension from coming and he has to call on Clark, you hear real emotion in his voice.
Yeah.
My favorite Mr. Terrific scene comes after all of the credits.
Oh, yeah.
He has saved the world. Clark is looking at the building and it's a little bit off. He mentions it and it really hurts Mr. Terrific's feelings. He gets ticked off. He's kicking rocks and stuff.
He says, "What do you want me to do? Take it apart and put it back together?"
There were nods to the original Superman the movie, 78, not just the music. You had Otis. He's the black guy with the headphones that released the kaiju. And then you have Eve Tessmacher. She uses sexy selfies, basically expose Lex's plan.
I think she did it well. Not too much to say about her. I did like her like obsession with Olsen. There you go. Her obsession with him was kind of funny because he's just like this nerdy guy who works at the
Daily Planet.
He's over here like model-ish, crushing all over him.
We had the kaiju itself. I liked the way the kaiju looked a lot. Looked like reptilian dog Cthulhu, just crazy looking thing.
Yeah, its tail was weird. It was flattened like down the middle, like at the tip of it looked like a spearhead. It was all kinds of weird. And then I think
it breathes fire. They were doing the Godzilla thing.
Superman, they even said naive but still with good intentions. I think that's like his whole character. I wouldn't say it's like one of the better battles in the movie. It was good. The moments of like him trying to hold the monster up and like keep it from smashing into stuff, you can see his concern for the area around him, whereas the other heroes were just kind of like not really caring, just blasting him around, letting him fall over. He even has to tell them, be careful, about to kill people around you. I think it is funny too how even after he says that, there's still people like under it, surrounding it. For them, it's just like a normal day. It's like how people say in the MCU, it's a normal day in New York, and there's like aliens flying out the sky and black holes and stuff.
You know, just another day in Metropolis. The engineer, I really like the way they designed the character. I like the nanobites.
I thought she was cool. It's a cool concept. I feel like she was kind of like prove herself too much. She was trying a little hard all throughout the movie. I think overall she was an okay character. She wasn't my favorite, I'd say, out of the villains.
The cross between Ultraman and Bizarro, Ultraman, who's a clone of Superman, that was my favorite fight, was the fight between Superman and Ultraman.
I like that one a lot better. I think a lot of movies, like superhero movies especially, will go with that evil opposite version of the superhero.
In this, they combined Ultraman and Bizarro.
I would like to see a little bit more, and that's the cool thing about having multiple villains here, is you get that evil opposite version of the hero. You also get the different side of things, or like a different villain, like Lex Luthor, who's just, as he says, envious.
The motivation for Lex Luthor in here was fantastic. That was like right out of the comic. In the comics, money is a secondary thing because Lex can have that any time. That is the perfect motivation, Lex Luthor. He can't see no matter how much Clark is reaching out to him. And Michael Holt played Lex Luthor brilliant. There's so many great moments where Michael Holt looked like he was just drawn in the comic.
Yeah, no, he really did look like embodiment of Lex Luthor. I was kind of hoping to see the armor, though.
The Hammer of Baravia was the closest to the Lex
suit. Yeah.
You know? It was pretty much kind of designed like the Lexor suit. Wasn't painted.
Kind of was. Like, you have the removable headpiece where
right.
he just wears the armor.
It was just painted differently.
Yeah.
Metamorpho is an utterly brilliant character, and you have Metamorpho and his kid. Have you ever seen Metamorpho before, and what did you think of this character here?
I haven't. I think he was probably one of my favorite characters out of all of them. His abilities aren't something that we've seen before, or at least something that I've seen before in any sort of superhero media. I think it's a nice take on like the shape-shifting sort of stuff. Because then you have shapeshifters who just kind of turn into other people and stuff like that.
Like the Skrulls.
Yeah.
But here he actually turns into, he's called the Element Man.
Yeah, like he can turn into pretty much anything that has atoms. I think his abilities are something special that I definitely want to see more of, and I hope he does feature in future films.
This film had a lot of heart, much like the Christopher Reeve Superman. Mom, Pa Kent, they were done very well, in my opinion.
Yeah.
You could see where Superman got his morals from. You've got the Lois Lane relationship. You see the closeness with Jimmy Olsen. Superman is tolerant with Steve Lombard being a jerk, as Steve is in the comics. He's here too, you know, when Superman could just squash him.
I want to say that scene between him and his dad towards the end of the movie really shows you who Superman is, the reason he believes what he does and does what he does. You can feel the emotion in that scene and like just the meaning behind the words when his dad tells him the decisions that you make are what make you who you are. It's not what your parents set out for you.
There's 3 points that I thought that was Superman. When he was doing the interview with Lois Lane, she's hammering him on Baravia, which you would expect her to do because she's a reporter and she's Lois Lane and she wants to get a story, right? He finally says, people were going to die, Lois. I'm not representing anybody. I was representing good. That's a Clark thing. It's like, people are going to die. I don't care about the political ramifications. I'm going to go stop that. That's him. Other guys would stop and think about it. Batman might stop and think about it. Superman, people are going to die. I need to do something.
Yeah.
Clark realizing, hey, he went from being comforted by Jor-El and Laura until he heard the full message to being comforted by his real parents that raised him, Ma and Pa Kent, with the mighty Crabjoys in the background. When he reached out to Lex, he came in. At this point, he could have done anything. You know, he's got Lex on the ropes, and he's reaching out to him to the point where he tells him, Lex, for the good of everybody, I hope someday realize what I just told you about me is true about you. Of course, Lex is not hearing it.
Yeah.
That's Superman. No matter what, he's going to reach out.
As said before, it's the good intentions and maybe a little naive. I think that's a good representation of Superman.
Is this a good setup for the universe, do you think?
Yeah, I think if they're going to start it off and they're going to try and pick something off MCU fashion, this would probably be the way to do it. You have the other DC movies, but I don't feel like those landed in the same way. I think this could be a pretty good catalyst.
The Bat movies, I loved all of them. Except for the Mr. Freeze one, but that we won't talk about George Clooney. That includes the serials. I like the serials back in the 1940s, too. But the thing is, Batman has always been easily doable, it seems, with the screen. It's a character that's built for it. Superman, who is a great character, a great literature character, a great comic book character, and a great on-screen, he gets more misses.
Yeah.
He gets a lot of hits, too. Don't get me wrong, guys. But there are a lot of misses.
It seems like
Superman.
it's harder to do Superman in the correct fashion.
But he deserves to be who starts off the DC universe because he did.
Yeah.
I think this is the perfect grounding. You have in here Superman, the moral character, and then you have the jerk superhero in Guy Gardner, and then you have the Wolverine kind of over the top superheroes in Hot Girl and Peacemaker. What did you think of Crypto?
He's the goodest of boys, despite being superhero destructive. What can you expect from a dog? You get loyalty, which he is. You get
Playfulness.
the playfulness, in which he is, even though he might not know how to control it. Can't
'Cause
blame
he's
him.
a dog.
You can't blame him. He's got the superhero stuff.
And Supergirl lets him get away with it.
I was surprised Superman didn't go John Wick about losing his dog. you know?
Right. Give this a 1 to 5 rating, and then tell me how excited you are for the next movie.
I'll give it an honest 4.5, just about close to 5. I think everything that they did here was spot on for the start of a new universe here. I'm hoping to see a standalone film for
Metamorpho?
him and
Guy Gardner?
Mr.
Oh, Mr. Terrific.
Yeah, Mr. Terrific. I'm hoping to see a standalone film for him.